In our generation, there's a lot of people starting to build their own businesses. May mga kaklase tayo o kakilala na nag start ng mga small business nila on their own, like pagla-live selling, pag-reseller, or even pagluluto ng mga patok na pagkain like pastries and iced coffees. Some of them, well, luckily, nakikita natin nagiging successful sila on their chosen industry. But unfortunately, yung iba, hindi. Meron din tayong mga kakilala na kaibigan or even tayo, a group of people na nag start ng business nila like clothing brands na kung saan sila mismo yung nagtutulungan or nag-share for capitals, expenses, strategies kung paano mabebenta yung product nila. And again, tulad ng sabi ko kanina, some of them, luckily, nagiging successful. And yung iba, hindi. But, when we're on our down moments, nalulugi ang negosyo, ano nga ba yung mga responsibilities natin? Ano ba yung mga limitations and rights natin sa co-owner natin? Ano ba yung mga batas na kaya tayong protektahan, ang customers natin, at maging ang negosyo natin? Ayan ang tatalakayan natin for our today's discussion titled Law of Business Organization. Good afternoon, I am Laika Ombao, and I will be one of your reporter today. In the future, students of tourism and hospitality industry may want to establish their own business. And that is why we study things like this. Because it's true. And some of us may choose to start business instead. And this study will help us to be knowledgeable, not just about starting business, but also to be aware of things that we are not that familiar with that should be considered. However, in establishing the same, there are a lot of things to consider, such as the capital and location, among others. Well, this one is important to be considered as a future business owner. You need to know your capital and location, where you're going to build your business. Bakit nga ba kailangan natin itong alamin? For better understanding, I'll give you an example. Magbe-business ka ng baboy. You are targeting to be a seller and supplier of pork. Pero ang pagtatayuan mo na location ay sa lugar kung saan maraming Muslim na nakatira. Do you think your capital ay babalik sa'yo ng sobra-sobra? With that kind of location? Then your answer will tell you how important it is to consider the capital and location. In this chapter, we will discuss the different types of business organization, the governing laws applicable for each type of business organization, the requisites, the advantages and disadvantages, as well as the effects of the same. Here are the three known forms of business of organization. We have the sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporation. It says here that the sole proprietorship is the oldest, simplest, and most prevalent form of business enterprise. Dito sa sole proprietorship, ikaw lang mismo yung gumagawa ng lahat ng mga responsibilities mo sa business mo. Like for example, ang small groceries. Ikaw yung nagtitinda, naghahanap ng mga supplier mo, nag-audit ng pera, and ikaw yung nag-aasikaso ng mga permits na kailangan mo because you are the only owner of your business. You built it, you manage it, and you have all the benefits with it because you are the only manager and the worker. Kaya if ever na magkaroon ng problems or pagkalugi, you're also the one who is responsible sa lahat ng mga damages and utang na ikaw rin yung nakagawa. Kaya yung sole proprietorship, meron siyang disadvantages and advantages. One of its advantage is lahat ng pwede mong mapakinabangan sa business mo, ikaw mismo yung makikinabang. And pagdating sa pagdesisyon, lahat ng power is nasa sayo. Wala kang kailangan na i-consider na opinion ng iba. All you have to do is consider the feedback of your customers. And one of its disadvantages is, ayun nga, na kapag naging lugi or nagkaroon ng pagkalugi ang business mo, you're also the one who is responsible sa lahat ng utang mo. Yun yung isa sa mga magiging problema mo because minsan malaking pera yung nasasangkot sa mga utang na yan. And mahirap na magbayad ng ikaw lang sa sarili mo. And now here is the obligations of sole proprietorship. To secure license and business permit, you're also the one na kailangan mag-asikaso or maglakad ng mga permits para maging legal yung negosyo mo. Second, to register the business name. Siyempre, kailangan mo iparegister yung pangalan ng business mo for it to have the record. To pay tax, of course, it is important to pay our tax. To pay personally all debts and obligations of the business. So since again, you are the owner, ikaw yung responsible na magbayad ng utang mo sa inutangan mo, ikaw mismo personally. Kasi ikaw yung may record and if you have things or letter na pinirmahan, ikaw yung nakapirma doon. So ikaw yung responsible to pay it and you're obligated to it.
Partnership definition and concept. So what is partnership? A partnership exists when two or more persons agree to place their money, effects, labor, and skill in lawful commerce or business, with the understanding that shall be proportionate sharing of the profits and losses among them. So, yung partnership is nag-e-exist lang siya or matatawag mo lang siyang partnership kapag yung dalawang tao o kaya more than two person is nag-agree na magko-contribute ng it's either money, property, or even their skills to build a business. Article 1767 of the New Civil Code provides that by the contract of partnership, two or more persons bind themselves to contribute money, property, or industry to a common fund with the intention of dividing the profits among themselves. Two or more persons may also form a partnership for the exercise of a profession. So, dito sa article na to, sinasabi dito na yung partnership nga is agreement ng dalawa o higit pang tao na ipapund yung money nila or magpupul ng money, property, or even their skills to start a business. So, etong article na to is mapoprotektahan ka kasi meron ditong sinabi na yung intention of dividing the profits among themselves. So, kaya ka may partnership, dapat kung ano yung kikitain nyo, dapat equal lang din yung paghahatian nyo. Hindi lang about sa kita or sa profit, even the losses is dapat equal pa rin yung matatanggap ng bawat isa na nakapaloob doon sa partnership. Essential requisites of partnership. So, number one is there must be a valid contract. So, syempre, yung kontrata nyo ng partnership is hindi naman siya isang pirmahan lang or for a lifetime na yung isang pirma nyo. So, bawat partnership is meron lang siyang kontrata kung hanggang ilang taon lang valid yung partnership nyo. There should be contribution of either money, property, or industry to common fund. So, hindi mo masasabing na kabilang ka sa partnership na yon kung wala ka namang binigay na money or any contribution na pwede mong matulong sa kapwa mo. Sa kapartnership mo. Number 3 is the business, object, or purpose of the partnership must be lawful. Syempre, yung pag-i-startan nyo ng business, syempre dapat legal. The purpose of the partnership is for profit and with the intention of dividing the same among the partners, and there must be two or more persons with legal capacity to enter in the contract of partnership. So, ang pinaka-purpose talaga daw ng partnership is para kung ano yung kikitain nyo nga, ayun nga, is dapat equal lang yung matatanggap ng bawat isa. And hindi ka lang basta-basta pwedeng makipag-partnership ng kung kani-kanino without enough knowledge about legal basis.
So now let me discuss the nature of partnership. Hindi ko na pa siya babasahin, i-explain ko na lang. Nature of partnership, the characteristic and the qualities of a partnership agreement between two or more individuals. In a partnership, people come together to work towards a common goal and a share profits and losses. So the nature of partnership is will depend on the terms of the agreement between the partners. To understand the nature of partnership is important for all partners involved to ensure a successful and harmonious business or relationship. Classification of partnership. There are many classifications of partnership, but for this purpose, only the following will be discussed. In partnership, we have two classification. First, we have as a liability. In liability, we have two parts, general and limited partnership. General partnership is a partnership where all the partners are general partners who are liable to the extent of their separate property after the partnership asset have been exhausted. Um, a general partnership is like a team where all members work together and share both the good and the bad outcomes of the business. It's important to carefully consider the risks and benefits of forming a general partnership before entering into this type of business structure. Next, we have a limited partnership. A partnership with one or more general partners are one or more limited partners. In limited partners, the general partner will be held liable beyond his contributions. A limited partners is, however, liable only to the extent of his contribution. When we say a limited partnership is a business structure that allows for a division of responsibilities and liabilities between general and limited partners. This can be beneficial for investors who want to be involved in a business but also want to limit their personal risk. So the second classification of partnership is as to duration. Duration have a two parts, partnership at will and partnership in a specific period. Partnership at will is a partnership without a fixed duration set by the partners. It may be terminated depending upon the will of the partners. So, partnership at will is allow the partners to work together without a contracts of a formal agreement. But it also means that the partnership can be easily dissolved without much notice. So next we have a partnership in a specific period. Is a partnership which is agreed upon to exist only for a specific term or period or for the accomplishment of a particular undertaking. So, pag sinabing partnership in a specific period is a temporary agreement or relationship between two or more parties to work together towards a common goal for a set amount of time. This could be involve sharing resources, expertise, or responsibilities to achieve a specific outcome within a defined time frame.
Forms of partnership. A partnership is like a deal or agreement between people. It becomes official as soon as all the partners agree on the agreement. This agreement can be made oral or written. So, partners can form a partnership by just talking about it and agreeing or by writing down the terms on paper. However, there are situations where the contract of partnership must be in special form for its validity. First, the property contributed is immovable or real right. The contract of partnership must be in writing and in public document, meaning it must be notarized. The immovable refers to land and anything attached to it permanently, like building. Then kapag naman real right property, ito naman yung mga immovable property na may legal rights and privilege katulad ng ownership na protected by the law. Ang contract o partnership ng immovable and real right property ay kailangan manotarized at kailangan yung inventory ng immovable property ay pirmado ng mga kapartnership at isasama ito sa notarized contract o partnership. Kapag hindi naman na-meet yung requirements na yun ng contract o partnership ay walang bisa. Second, if the partnership has a capital of 3,000 pesos or more, money or property, the contract must be in public instrument and must be recorded in Office of the Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC. So, kapag yung partnership naman ay pera na worth of 3,000 pesos or higit pa, yung contract ay kailangan registered sa Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC at nasa formal legal document. Kapag di naman na-compile yung requirement ay hindi ito makaka-apekto sa liability ng partnership at sa ibang member nito. Lastly, in case of limited partnership, the law provides that the parties must sign and swear to a certificate that the word limited or LTD must be added in the partnership name. So, limited partnership, ito yung nagko-contribute ka lang ng capital pero limited liability at hindi ito involved sa day-to-day operation ng business. Kumbaga, capital lang yung ini-invest niya pero hindi siya yung nagpapatakbo ng business na yon. Dito naman kailangan ay yung lahat ng kapartnership mo ay nakapirma sa certificate at naka-indicate yung word na limited or LTD at kailangan yung certificate na yan ay filed at naka-record sa Office ng Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC. And according naman kay Justice Argardo Paras, kapag yung requirements na yan ay hindi nasunod or nagawa, hindi mo ko consider na limited partnership yung partnership na mayroon sila, kundi general partnership na. So next is classification of partners. First, capitalist partner is one who contribute capital, property, or money. So yung capitalist partner, sila yung nagko-contribute ng capital like property or money. Ang capital partner ay hindi exempted sa any losses. Like, kahit ano pong nakalagay sa agreement nila about sa gantong bagay ay magiging invalid. Kapag naman capitalist partner ka rin ay hindi ka pwedeng mag-engage ng ibang business na katulad ng business ng kapartnership mo unless may kasunduan kayo na pwede ito. Kung lalabag naman sa rules na ito, ay kung anumang kita ang kanyang nakuha mula sa kanyang transaksyon ay magiging funds ng partnership at personal niyang sasagutin ang pagkalugi ng negosyo. Ang capitalist partner ay makaka-receive ng share ng profits based sa napagkasunduan nila pero kapag wala naman specific na agreement, ang magiging share ng profit ay based sa proportion ng kanilang contribution sa partnership. So, yung capitalist partner ay palagi silang liable sa losses. Example, in capitalist partner, Lenin and Mark formed a partnership to operate a restaurant business. Lenin contributed 1 million pesos, while Mark contributed his industry as chef of the restaurant. So, in this case, si Lenin yung capitalist partner since siya yung nag-contribute ng money which is 1 million pesos. Next is, suppose Lenin wanted to put up another restaurant business in another place, but this time as sole proprietor. Is he allowed to do so? So, the answer is no. Lenin as capitalist partner cannot engage in another business na katulad sa business na mayroon sila ng kapartnership na. Ngunit maaari ito kung bibigyan siya ni Mark ng consent na maaari na si Lenin na mag-establish ng own business restaurant niya. Next is, suppose Lenin wants to operate his own car wash business. Is he allowed to do so? even without the consent of Mark? The answer is yes. Lenin may operate his own car wash business kahit walang consent ni Mark dahil yung car wash business ay hindi naman katulad ng business nilang dalawa ni Mark. Second, industrial partner is one who contribute industry or skill. So, ang industrial partner naman ay hindi sila nagko-contribute ng capital or property or money. Ang tanging kina-contribute lang nila is yung skills nila. Ang industrial partner din ay hindi sila makakapag-engage ng business for himself unless inalaw yun ng kapartner niya. Pero kung hindi naman at nagtayo pa rin siya ng business ay maaaring maalis siya sa partnership at yung capitalist partner niya yung makakakuha ng benefits at profits galing sa unauthorized business. So, about naman sa profits, ang industrial partner ay makaka-receive ng share of profits na patas at pantay. About naman sa losses, ang industrial partner ay hindi liable sa any losses, ngunit siya ay liable sa pananagutan na natamo ng partnership mula sa kanilang creditors. Kung ang industrial partner ay magbabayad, may karapatan siyang ma-reimburse yung mga bayad na ginawa niya. Example in industrial partnership. Lenin and Mark formed a partnership to operate a restaurant business. Lenin contributed 1 million pesos, while Mark contributed his industry as the chef of the restaurant. So, kung kanina si Lenin ang capitalist partner, in this case naman, si Mark naman yung industrial partner dahil kinontribute niya yung industry niya as the chef of the restaurant. Next is, suppose Mark, while being a partner in the restaurant business, want to establish his own restaurant. Is he allowed? The answer is no. Mark didn't allow to establish his own restaurant since industrial partner is like capitalist partner na they are not allowed na mag-engage ng business unless bibigyan siya ni Lenin ng consent. And next is, suppose Mark wants to establish his own car wash. May he be allowed to do so? The answer is no. Unlike capitalist partner, the industrial partner ay hindi allowed na mag-engage ng kahit anong business, kahit katulad man o hindi, unless may consent siya ng kapartner niya. Since ang industrial partner ay skills yung kino-contribute niya, kailangan devoted yung oras niya sa business. Another example in industrial partners. Thomas, Mateo, and Dado form a partnership. Thomas and Mateo are the capitalist partner, while Dado is an industrial partner. The business is not doing well. They need additional funds to finance their business undertakings. In this situation, only Thomas and Mateo are liable to shoulder the additional funds because they are the capitalist partner. Dado, being an industrial partner, shall not liable to contribute because an industrial partner shall not be liable for losses. Suppose the partnership is indebted to XXX company, may Dado, the industrial partner, be held liable? So, in this case, the answer is yes. Liable si Dado sa XXX company dahil ang industrial partners ay liable sa mga creditors ng partnership. Ngunit may karapatan si Dado na mag-claim ng reimbursement mula sa kanyang mga co-partners para sa anumang halaga na binayad niya sa XXX company. Third is capitalist industrial partner is a partner who contributed both capital and industry. Ang capitalist and industrial partner, sila naman yung nagko-contribute ng both capital and industry. In this case naman, kapag industrial partner ay nag-contribute ng capital aside sa kanyang service, makakatanggap siya ng share sa profits in proportion ng kanyang capital. For example, Lenin and Mark formed a partnership to operate restaurant business. Lenin contributed 1 million pesos, while Mark contributed 1 million pesos and his industry as chef of the restaurant. So, in this case, the capitalist industrial partner ay si Mark dahil nag-contribute siya ng both capital and his industry. Fourth is general partner. Is a partner who is liable beyond the extent of what he has contributed. Ang general partner, siya yung maaaring malagot ng personal para sa mga debt and obligation ng partnership kahit lagpas na sa halaga na ininvest or kinontribute niya sa business. For example, si Lenin at Mark ay nagtayo ng restaurant kung saan si Lenin ay naging general partner. Ang restaurant ay mayroong debt and obligation na hindi kayang bayaran ng business. Si Lenin o ang general partner, ang kinakailangan magbayad nito gamit ang kanyang sariling pera o ari-arian upang matugunan ang obligation ng partnership. Fifth, limited partner is a partner in a limited partnership and is liable only to the extent of what he has contributed. So, kung ang general partner ay liable beyond the extent of what he has contributed, ang limited partner naman ay liable only to the extent of what he has contributed. Ang limited partner ay tanging mako-contribute niya lang ay yung capital or property pero hindi industry. And lastly is managing partner. Is a partner who manage the business of the partnership. So, ang managing partner is sila yung nagmamanage ng business ng partnership. In this managing partner ay walang itinatalagang na magiging managing partner dahil lahat ng partners ay kinakailangan mag-manage.
Management of the partnership. The management of the partnership belongs to the person who is either named in the articles of the partnership or the partner appointed after the partnership has already been formed. In all cases, however, in the absence of any agreement, the management is vested in all of the partners. It also involves the rights, duties, and responsibilities of partners in operating and making decisions for the partnership. For example, is financial management. We need to ensuring that profits and losses are accurately recorded and that financial statements are prepared in accordance with accounting standards and partnership agreements. Distribution of profits. Under Article 1797 of the Civil Code, the profit of the partners shall depend upon the agreement of the partners in case they fail to stipulate. The parties' share in the profit shall be in proportion to what he may have contributed. Distribution of profit is typically guided by the partnership agreement among the partners. For example, is fixed salary component. Partners may receive a fixed monthly draw or salary, which is predetermined regardless of the firm's profitability for that period.
Distribution of losses. The losses shall be distributed income, the share with the agreement. However, in the absence of stipulation, the share of each partment, the losses shall be in proportion to what he may have contributed, but the industrial partner shall not be liable for the losses. Sa pagkakaintindi ko, kung ikukumpara ko ito sa isang business o negosyo, ang isang distribution of losses kapag merong involved na stakeholders or partnership and then we agree in contract. For example, ako po and nagplano po akong magtayo ng isang negosyo and syempre kailangan ko po ng partner. Then nagplan kami all of the day-to-day operations, ako yung duty while yung partner ko po is silent backer. And ako po, meron akong greater responsibilities where our partnership agreement states that they will share losses equal. But yung partner ko po, we will receive 80% of the profit dahil nakabase nga po tayo sa responsibilities. And for And for the dissolution of partnership, the solution is the change in the relation of the partners caused by any partner ceasing to be associated in the carrying on the business. In passing, neither would the presence of a period for its specific duration or the statement of a particular purpose for its creation prevent the dissolution of any partnership by an act or will of a partner. Among partners, mutual agency arises, and the doctrine of delectus personae allows them to have the power, although not necessarily the right, to dissolve the partnership and unjustify the solution by the partner can subject him to a possible action for damages. And for the dissolution of partnership, for me, they have two reasons if our partner in business had ended his contract. The first one is nagkakaroon po ng kakayahan si partner na mag-solo para mas malaki po yung profit na ma-achieve niya. Second is, yung partnership nyo, hindi maganda yung pigmentation dahil sa time management or other matters na need nila i-accomplish within this day. Dahil nga po, entrepreneur, hindi lang po doon umiikot yung lifestyle. Kaya yung business na pag-iiwanan, nalulugi dahil sa kapabayaan. Kaya karamihan yung ibang ginagawa mag-partner sa negosyo is tineterminate na lang nila para matapos na and then equally divided nila paghahatian yung profit and expenses. Yan lang po.
Advantage of forming partnership. Number 1, it is easy to form since generally partnership is formed by mere consents. Mas madaling makabuo ng partnership since it's all about partnership. Higit sa isang tao yung mga binubuo nito at higit isa ang magbibigay ng consents at bubuo ng isang plano at strategy sa pagpapatakbo ng isang negosyo. Number 2, easy to make a decision. Mas madaming desisyon dahil mas maraming opinion at idea ang magsasanib when it comes to negosyo at nagdi-discuss ng mga bagay-bagay sa pagdating sa negosyo. Mayroon din dalawang option or opinion o higit ang magsasama-sama at masikit na magtataglay ng mga pros and cons sa isang decision na gawain. Number 3, more capital is available in the business. Most cases, a partnership is mas mabilis makapag-raise ng capital than sole proprietorship. Having a additional parties to your partnership means injecting more cash to your business and can easily raise money through their contacts or by lending their expertise. Disadvantage of forming partnership. Number 1, the partnership are liable for the actions of their co-partnerships. Since this is a partnership and more than one parties are involved and they have a agreement, both parties are liable for the actions of their co-partnership. Like for example, may nagawang maling desisyon yung co-partnership is hindi lang yung isang party yung may kasalanan, kundi pareho kayo liable at di pwedeng isisi yun sa isa lamang. Number 2, easy to dissolve. Since this is a partnership between one or more parties, it is easily to dissolve if any of their parties involves ang umayaw at umalis sa agreement is mawawala ng saysay ang partnership. Number 3, if the partnership is unable to pay the debts, the personal asset of the general partners is liable. If di mabayaran ng partnership ang kanilang utang, personal asset na kanila ang liable, meaning walang ibang pagkukunan kundi yung assets ng parties involves. Number 4, the internal conflict or personal interest is certain partners is always probable. So, if any conflict between the parties are liable, it will both affect the partnership. Any personal conflict or magkakaaway ang both parties ay maaaring maapektuhan ito. Corporation. A corporation is an artificial being created by operation of law, having the rights of successions and the power, attributes, and properties expressly authorized by law or incidents of its existence. So dito it is a legal entity that separate distinct from their owner. It is a created by individuals, stockholders, or shareholders. It is allowed to enter any contracts because of own assets, federal tax, and borrow money from their institutions.
Attributes of corporation. Number one is an artificial being. It refers to its status as a legal created entity distinct from the natural persons who own or use or operate it. One example is separate legal entity. Corporation is recognized by law as a separate entity from its shareholders. This means it has its own legal rights and obligations. For example, it can enter into contracts, sue and be sued, and own property independently of its shareholders. Second is it is created by operation of law. This means that a corporation comes into existence through a legal process governed by statutory requirements rather than through natural appearance or informal advantage. Next is has a right of succession. The attributes that a corporation has a right of succession refers to its ability to continue its existence independent of the changes in ownerships or management. Plus, one is it has express and implied powers. It has a express power and implied powers. Express powers are those that are explicitly granted to a corporation by law or its foundational documents such as the Articles of Incorporation or corporate bylaws. And last one is
Doctrine of corporate entity. It is a corporation from the moment it acquires juridical personality, becomes separate and distinct person from the person who created it. So a corporation is an entity merely created by operation of law. It being an artificial being is considered as an entity that is separate and distinct from the stockholders composing it or the members composing it. So again, the corporation has a separate juridical personality that is distinct from the stockholders composing it. So just like any natural person, a corporation can also enter into different contractual obligations, and the general rule is that obligations incurred by the corporation are the corporation's sole liability. So, kung ano yung obligasyon na natama ng korporasyon or corporation, yun lang yung pananagutan nito.
Doctrine of piercing the veil of corporate identity. As mentioned earlier, a corporation has a personality separate and distinct from the person composing it, doctrine or corporate identity. However, if the corporation is used as a means to perpetrate fraud or an illegal act or as a vehicle for the evasion of an exciting obligation, when a corporate identity is used to justify a wrong, protect, fraud, or defend a crime, or when it merely serves as an alter ego of a person who has full control of its funds, the corporate identity that separates the board, officers, or stockholder of the corporation shall be pierced. This is the doctrine of piercing the veil of corporate identity. When a corporate veil is pierced, the corporation and person who are normally treated as distinct from the corporation are treated as one person, such that when the corporation is adjudged liable, this person to become liable as if they were the corporation. Doctrine of piercing the veil of corporate identity. Katulad ng nasabi kanina, a corporation has a personality separate and distinct from the person composing is called doctrine of corporate identity. Pero kung ang isang corporation ay gumamit upang makagawa ng pandaraya or ng illegal acts at umiwas sa mga obligation, then ang corporate identity ay ginagamit upang maiwasan ang iba't ibang klase ng kasamaan na maaaring maganap sa isang corporation, then this is called doctrine of piercing the veil of corporate identity. When the corporate veil is pierced, ang bawat tao, normal man or nasa corporation, ay dapat matrato ng isang tao lamang ng tama.
Advantages of corporate forms of business organization. One, it has strong legal personality. Strong legal personality of a corporation provides numerous advantages, including limited liability, perpetual existence, ease of raising capital, and transferability of ownership. Next is free transferability of shares. Free transferability of shares is a crucial advantage of the corporate form of business organization. Centralized management. There is a centralized management in a corporate structure provides numerous advantages, including professional expertise, peer governance, strategic decision making, and effective oversight. Next is limited liability. Limited liability is a fundamental advantage of the corporate form of business organization, offering shareholders protection from personal liability for the corporation's debts and liabilities. Last one is it has a perpetual existence unless its articles of incorporation provides otherwise. Perpetual existence is a fundamental advantage of the corporate form of business organization, providing stability, confidence, and continuity to shareholders, investors, customers, and stakeholders. Disadvantages of corporate form of business organization. One is the process of forming corporation is complicated. Corporate form of business organization offers numerous advantages such as limited liability and perpetual existence. The process of forming a corporation can be complex and cumbersome. Next is it is always subject to the control and regulation of the government. While government oversight and regulation are intended to protect the public interest and promote corporate responsibility, they also impose costs, constraints, and risks on corporation. Next is a corporation cannot engage in any business other than the business specified in the article business organization offers advantages such as limited liability and access to capital. The restriction on business activities imposed by the Articles of Incorporation can limit the corporation flexibility, innovation, and competitiveness. Last one is minority stockholders generally have no say in the operation of the corporation. The disadvantages of minority stockholders having little say in the operation of the corporation highlights an imbalance of power within the corporate structure.
Studying the law of business of organization might be hard, right? So, how's everyone? We hope that through our explanation, we made it clear to you guys and you learned a lot. Thank you for listening.